Hello and welcome to the final installment of the IFSC Asia Tour 2013. From Haiyang we have headed south into warmer climates and now find ourselves in Wujiang, located in the south of China in the delta of the Yangtze River. It is home to around 1.5 million people and was traditionally known as the land of fish and rice. It was also known as the capital of silk. Nowadays, the city has taken on a different name. In keeping with China's modernization, it is now known as the City of Electronics and also, strangely, as the capital of cable and optical cable. That's something that we're hoping is going to help us as we get ready to broadcast both a lead and speed World Cup direct to you live all around the world. Behind me right now, you can probably see the wall that is in the background there, just on the side of this river. We get ready to welcome our athletes to the final installment of the Asia Tour 2013. Welcome back. It is time for our Speed World Cup here in Wujiang 2013. Our athletes are ready. We've had a bit of a rainstorm while you guys have been away, but it seems like it's cleared off now that it knows that you guys are coming back. So hopefully we're all good to go. The clocks are ready and set there, as you can see. The athletes have had their warm-up time. We get ready to welcome our speed athletes out into the field, trying to break these athletes down into just 16 of each to go forward into the final rounds a little bit later on this evening. As you can see on your screen right now, the women's speed qualifications start lists. And there you can see the lists of athletes that we'll be seeing during this event. Edita Ropek, Alexandra Rudzinska, Claudia Bugzek, Anouk Jalber, Alan Marienc, Panzu Ha, Risa Ota, who competed in the lead earlier today, Alina Gaida-Makina, our world #1 at the moment, Margot Heitz, Renqing Lamu, Farnaz Esmilzada, Anastasia Savisko, Julia Kaplina, Maria Krasavina, Supita Tita, Katarina Sarvain, Julia Levachkina, He Julian, Renzeng Wangmu, Monica Prokopiuk and Zhang Rong in the women's all together. I'll take you over and have a brief look at the male athletes competing in this speed now. Just quickly for you, as you can see there, Aspar Jelolo put it in one of the fastest times throughout the last Speed World Cup in Haiyang. This young athlete from Indonesia is looking to come back with a vengeance here against athletes such as Evgeny Wojciechowski, you can see there for Russia, Lucas Swerk there, Vyacheslav Vedenchuk, Yaroslav Gontarek as well, another big name, and Leonardo Gontero, another definite contender to make it through into the top 16 here. Danilo Boldyrev, another one amongst them. Jerzy Komazinski, Marcin Dyzienski suddenly pulling up his socks over the past 3 or 4 Speed World Cups this year, leaping up the rankings and also the World Cup rankings to show us a new and improved time this year. Marcin Dyzienski for Poland. Sean McCall there as well, as you can see, with Libor Hroza, who's hopefully going to have a comeback mission here as well today. Zonglin Sai, Shishin's brother, and there is Shishin at the bottom of the page there as well. Dmitry Timofeev. Reza Alaposhina Zandafar is the athlete that we saw take the gold medal just recently in Haiyang. And we're looking forward to seeing whether he can do it again here for Iran. Reza Alaposhina Zandafar, very young athlete competing in the men's. We get ready to start things off here today with the women's qualifications first. We'll then correlate their results and come back as we get onto the men's qualifications as well. Welcome back to Wujiang. We're about to get things started with the women's qualifications.
淘汰赛更加残酷，16进8、8进4、4进2，到最后争夺冠军。首先在预赛，每名运动员需要攀爬 A、B 两条线路。 2条线路里面取1条最好成绩来作为他们的排名，排名取前16进入到下一轮，就这么简单。所以每名运动员有2次机会，而且规则规定，每名运动员只有1次抢跑机会，如果出现2次抢跑将会被取消。
Well, it's looking like just getting ready and waiting to come out here are Editor Ropek and Anastasia Savisko. And we have on our list Farnaz Esmailzadeh as being the athlete to be paired with Editor Ropek. I'm just going to find out what's happened to Farnaz. It's looking like she's not here at the moment. I'll ask in a few seconds and we'll try and figure out what's going on here. 21 female athletes all in all and 25 male athletes to get through. Not too many, about the same as with the lead, but obviously the advantage with the speed, it goes a lot faster. So we're going to be able to get the entire World Cup in sorted for you this evening.
我们整个攀岩运动最快的速度，就看各位的发挥。再次提到，因为本次比赛是今年年度最后一次速度比赛，所以云集了几乎全世界的所有顶尖高手一起齐聚湖湘。我相信今晚注定是一个不平凡的夜晚。 各位，你们准备好了吗？不管怎样，他们已经准备好了。我们一起来欢迎第一位出场的运动员，057号，来自于波兰的罗贝克·艾迪塔，目前是排名排在第10位。他在 A 道、B 道的运动员，我们要欢迎081号，来自乌克兰的阿纳斯塔西亚，目前是排名排在第14位。
Well, it's looking like we have had a bit of a change to the start list order here. So our first pairing, Editor Ropek, Anastasia Savisko. We will do our best, without knowing exactly what order, to tell you who the athletes are. We're fairly familiar with them by now, so we'll be able to spot them hopefully when they're coming out. Here's our first pairing then, Editor Ropek, Anastasia Savisko of the Ukraine. Here we go, quick start. Nice, good start for both of these athletes. Editor Ropek falling behind here. Anastasia Savisko taking a lead and holding that lead as they go up the wall, and it's going to be Anastasia. So we're looking at the best times so far. 9.50 for Anastasia Savisko, 10.63 for Editor Ropek.
2次机会，他们都需要攀跑2次，2次机会里面取最好的1条成绩来进行排名。姑娘们加油！ 我希望在夜晚的比赛，你们会发挥得更好。
So our next pairing then is going to be Yulia Kaplina on the right, and on the left-hand side now we are joined by Maria Krasavina. No, sorry, my bad. Alexandra Rodzinska. Relatively fast from both athletes there. Yulia Kaplina putting in an 8.56. Alexander Rodzinska. Right, next up on the left-hand side is Claudia Buksik. On the right-hand side here we have Maria Krasavina. Here we are away. Neck and neck at present. Still neck and neck. Remember, at this stage of the competition, these guys are just trying to put in the fastest possible times that they can. The fastest 16 of them will go through to the next stage. So Claudia Buxet with a 9.41 there. Maria Casabina with a 9.19. Our next two athletes then. For France, we welcome Anouk Jalbert, and she's up against Supita Tita of Indonesia.
右边要欢迎032号来自印度尼西亚的 Tita，Tita 在我们刚刚结束的海岸的世界杯成绩非常优秀。开始跑吧。
Anouk Jalbert taking a lead here. Supita Tita putting in some fantastic times at the last World Cup, and here we see again her taking the lead. 9.40, not bad at all for her first time there. Unfortunate for Anouk Jalbert to have that stall, putting in a slower time of 12.46 seconds, meaning that her second climb is all important as we start to move through this. Our next athlete on the right-hand side here is Katarina Sarvine. Left, Ala Marienc. Ala Marienc on the left-hand side, Katarina Sarvine on the right, but a false start here from Ala Marienc, which means that she's had her yellow card already flashing up here, and that's an unfortunate situation for her to be in as she moves through the competition.
Ready? 好，这一次没有问题。刚才我们第一趟跑法当中，我们 A 道的选手这个出手太快，所以出现了抢跑，但没有关系，有一次机会。哦，跑马速度还是很快。而且乌克兰的阿勒还在第11位。
So a 10.43 for Ala Marienc here and 18.86 for Katarina Sarvine. We get ready for our next pairing. And that will be Pan Zhu Ha, and she is climbing against that's Yulia Levachkina there. So Pan Zhu Ha on the left-hand side, Yulia Levachkina on the right. Get ready for that next pairing, and here we go. Yulia Levachkina taking an automatic advantage here, straight away flying ahead. Pan Zhu Ha trying to fight back, but Yulia putting in a fantastic first time, 9.16. Pan Zhu Ha, not too bad either, 11.81. Risa Ota next up. She'll be against He Hulian of China. We are away then. Risa Ota on the left-hand side, He Hulian on the right. He Hulian taking the lead here and holding it. A bit of a stall there. Comfortable reach up on that one. A little bit of a slip there as well. He Hulian still powering ahead here on 13 seconds at the moment. Still not quite at the top, and here we go. 15.72 for He Hulian. Risa Ota still climbing at the moment. She was putting in around 24 last time. A little bit slower for her today. 28.02 for Risa Ota. Our next pairing then, Alina Gaida-Makiner, a world-ranked #1. She will be paired with Renzeng Wangmu of China.
的064号，来自俄罗斯的安丽拉，目前世界排名排在第1位。哦，跟他进行比拼的是来自于中国队的010号人增万姆。
Alina Gedemakina, world ranked 1, World Cup ranked 1. Her dream to win the World Championships could be made a reality next year. We get ready for our World Championships in Spain. For now, she's got to be content with winning the World Cup and keep getting those golds like she just did at the last World Cup in Wujiang. Oh, and a slip and a fall there, unfortunately for her. So putting the pressure on her on her second climb. Renzeng Wangmu, 11.54 here. Margot Heitz next up for us. For France, she is paired with Monica Prokopiuk here. And Jian Rong has once again withdrawn from the speed competition, so we unfortunately will not be having her. We get ready to rotate this pairing in a little while. We start again from the beginning with our female athletes. I can see them getting up and warming up at the moment. Here we are, Heitz on the left, Prokopiuk on the right. Still pretty much neck and neck at the moment. It's going to be a relatively good time for the two of them. 10.14, 9.94. Not perfect. They're going to want to take that down to as close to 8 as they can get here. Although quite a few of our athletes have been around the late 9 mark so far. And Queen Lamu here climbing on her own. A late entry to this one by the look of things. Maybe she's been swapped with Yang Rong. Not entirely sure. The start lists are a little bit crazy here at the venue. Queen Lamu though here, 12.72 for her. We still have Farnaz Esmilzada to climb as well. She's now paired up once again with our first athlete from earlier, Edita Ropek. Ropek now on the right-hand side, Farnaz Esmilzada on the left. Edita Ropek with an earlier time of 10.63. First climb of the day for Farnaz Esmilzada. And here we are, clean start for both of these athletes. Farnaz Esmilzada instantly taking a lead here and holding it. She's hungry on this second World Cup stage for her now. It looks like we have a technical problem there on that one, which is a real shame because that was a fast climb. Not entirely sure what's going to happen now after that. No false start. Definitely an issue down on the ground here. Our next pairing then is Anastasia Savisko on the left-hand side here, and she will be climbing against Aleksandra Rudzinska of Poland. Savisko trying to get herself into the right mindset here, concentration, shake out a few jittery nerves before we start. Looks like one of our officials is wandering around at the bottom of the wall here, having a bit of a discussion probably about Farnaz's last climb. Possibility we could reclimb that one in a moment. So we have a delay here at the bottom of the wall. which is a shame because it's the first time we've had issues with the clocks since we've been in China, really. Our last World Cup in Haiyang, no issues there at all, after a bit of an awful time of things in Mokpo with the technical systems for the timing. Interesting as well, just been reminded that in Mokpo, Farnaz got a little bit done over with the timing system there as well. In Mokpo, if you remember, she got through into the final, the next stage, and then had to have a rerun due to a clock's problem with the other athlete that she was racing against, which she then missed out on that one and lost her place in the final. Let's hope that that's not happening again for her here. It's probably why she's so hungry to keep putting in a good performance as well. So hopefully we'll have a rerun in a little while. Bit of a delay here on the ground, waiting to see what's going to happen. Alexandra Rudzinska now back out, Anastasia Savisko. So it looks like we are moving on with this next pairing. If there is a rerun to be had, it will be done at the end. We get ready for our next of our second run for these female athletes here for the Speed World Cup. As soon as we're done with this, we go straight on to the men's, guys. Well, this is calculated, the results of the top 16. Anastasia Savisko with an earlier time of 9.50. She's going to be looking to knock some milliseconds off this one now. And here we are away, 2 green lights, and it's good so far. Almost neck and neck, but Rudzinska starting to take a bit of a lead here. Savisko trying to pull it back, but Savisko is powering ahead. Sorry, Rudzinska powering ahead, 8.97 there for her, 9.77 for Savisko. So over a second faster, Alexandra Rudzinska, good time there for her. Should be secure to see her through into the top 16. We welcome Julia Kaplina back out on the left-hand lane now, and she will be up against Claudia Buczek on the right-hand side. Athletes take their starting positions. Good start. Both athletes taking a bit of a delay there at the beginning. Claudia Buczek firing ahead here. Julia Kaplina rather firing ahead. A definite clock time there. You can see Julia Kaplina spotted it as well. 6.92. That is not a new world record. We're having clock issues here as well with Julia Kaplina. I'm guessing she'll be paired with Farnaz Esmailzadeh on the next run. It's looking like Farnaz is coming out again now for her first climb, I assume. She's climbing on her own. After a time of 3.45 seconds, which was clearly a technical issue. We're going to have a reclimb here now for Farnaz to get her first time before we move on. She needs a good time here. She had the focus and the drive on the first climb, powering ahead of a competitor on the right-hand side. Let's hope she can put in a good time again here. Here we are, Farnaz Esmailzadeh powering up now. Looking good at the moment. Bit of a tricky crossover there, and another little bit of a stumble here as well. And misses the clock at the last moment by the look of things. So she's waving her hands up in the air at the moment. Now let's hope that wasn't a clock issue, and that was in fact the fact that she didn't quite touch the top button there. She's not saying anything down on the ground. It's looking like she's just generally a little bit annoyed about that one. We move on to our next pairing then. Anok Jalbert here on the right hand side. She's paired with Maria Krasavina on the left. Maria Krasavina on the left, Anok Jalbert on the right. Good clean start, both athletes powering up for this one. 5 seconds gone. 8.77 for Maria Krasavina, better than her first time. And a clock issue for Anok Jalbert, unfortunately. So we're having technical problems left, right and centre here, down on the ground by the look of things. Do apologise for this one, guys. We'll have to have a couple of reclimbs by the look of things at the end. Waiting to see what the decision on the ground is going to be here as to whether we're pushing forward with the rest of our pairings and then rematching at the end, or whether they're going to spend some time having a look at the clocks down on the ground. There's Ding in the foreground, the bottom left. Chief the CMA. We're having a delay here now then on the ground. Welcome if you are just joining us. This is the women's qualifications for the Speed World Cup in Wujiang 2013. Having a bit of an issue with the clocks at the moment. Not an unusual occurrence at the Speed World Cups. A few moments while some discussions are made at the bottom of the wall as to what they're going to do next. So please bear with us, guys. Bit of technical difficulties here on the ground. Should have things underway very shortly. So as you can probably see, these guys are just testing out the wall here at the moment. Checking with the clocks. Do apologize for the delays here, guys. Technical difficulties on the ground. Resume the speed very shortly as soon as things are sorted out. Route setter is currently at the top of the wall, just tweaking a few bits. As you can see, we're back here again with Maria Krasav. Actually, this is Yulia Kaplina climbing at the moment. Number 65. Putting in an 8.23, a very good time indeed as well. Very quickly back and ready to go. That was Yulia Kaplina. 8.23 seconds. We are now here with our next female athlete. For France, welcome Anna Joubert back out onto the field for her second attempt at this one now. Hoping that the clocks have got sorted. They did test them just, it seemed to be okay. It's Katarina Salvine in the background, you can see there. Risa Ota. Here we are then with her reattempt at this one. Bit of a stall there. Lower down, 6 seconds going now. Starting to pick up the pace again at the end. 9.57. Not bad, 9.5 seconds here for Joubert. Get ready to bring out our next pair of athletes. And here we are, Supita Tita and Ala Mariench here. Supita on the left-hand side, Ala Mariench on the right. And we are away, green light, both athletes putting in a good start here. Ala Mariench starting to fall behind, Supita Tita powering up. Full body lip went ahead now. Supita Tita clearly wanting to be in that top 16. 10.05, will it be enough? 11.48 from Ala Mariench. Katharina Sarwein here, and Pan Zhu-Ha onto their second climbs now. Relatively slow start. Pan Zhu-Ha taking the lead here. It's looking like a miss there, unfortunately, and the same for Katharina Sarwein, so it's looking like that could be a technical issue once again, guys. Do apologise about this one. I'll wait and see what's going on with this. We will have our 16 athletes some point soon, I know we will. Fingers crossed. So another little pause here on the ground, a bit of a delay. Try and get that sorted for you as soon as possible. Apologies for this one, guys. So, just waiting while we get this thing sorted out down on the ground. Back with our speed qualifications for women as shortly as possible. Well, it looks we have things underway here. It's looking like we're about to get started. Katharina Sarwein and I believe Herr Julian. Sorry, Pan Zhu-Ha there on the right-hand side. Pan Zhu-Ha on the right-hand side. Katharina Sarwein on the left. And it's looking like the clocks are working. 16.51 and 11.77 here, which means we are going to be carrying on. Our next two athletes out already, raring to go. Yulia Levachkina on the left-hand side. Risa Ota on the right for Japan. On the left, Yulia Levachkina for Russia, previous world record holder. Let's see whether we can set any records here today. You can see in the background there in the red, Alina Gaidamakina getting ready for her next climb. And here we go, green lights. No false start here, Yulia Levachkina flying ahead, maintaining that lead at the moment. And there it is, 8.96, a good time there for her. Compared to her first time of 9.16, a definite improvement there for her. Hopefully putting her in a secure place in the top 16. Here's Risa Ota trying to finish up here as well. Risa Ota, an earlier time of 28.02. Here's 26.63 now. Traditionally a lead climber and also a bit of the bouldering as well, Risa Ota. Now it's Julian on the left-hand side and Alina Gaidamakina on the right. Julian on the left, Alina Gaidamakina on the right. Gaidamakina with an earlier fall, which means there's a lot resting on this one for her. She has to get there, and she has to get there safe, but also quick. That is fairly towards the star that she's climbing in, and there you are, 9.34. Putting her back in the running for that top 16. She knew there was a lot of pressure on her for that one. Big, deep breath as she came back down again there. Let out some of that tension as we move on to our next couple of athletes. Margot Heitz on the right-hand side, and Renzeng Wangmu. Actually, no, sorry, that looks like Lamu. Renqing Lamu here on the left-hand side.
Ready?
And here we are. Ooh, and a slip there and a fall for Margot Heitz. Renzeng Wangmu. 13.18. Renzeng Wangmu's name there should, just to keep you updated, be the other way round. Monika Prokopiuk on the left-hand side. Renqing Lamu on the right. Prokopiuk taking a lead here. Prokopiuk an earlier time of 9.94 seconds. 10.37 she's going to be reliant on her first time. A 12.57 there from Renqing Lamu. Very slow qualifying round here for the female athletes. But there it is, all of the athletes have had. No, do apologise. Farnaz Esmailzadeh still to climb here. After I just get so used to seeing Farnaz back out again. She's had such a bad time of things with the clocks at the last couple of events. Oh, and this is a really unfortunate situation for her to be in now. After the problem of the clock not stopping on the last one, and then with the slip here as well now, Farnaz Esmailzadeh, it's looking like she will be out of the final 16 here, and you can see what that means to her. Definite disappointment here from Farnaz. A lot of pressure on these guys. And you've got to remember as well, they put so much effort into the build-up to events such as these. I know that the Iranians have funded themselves to get out of here, as well. Farnaz was a contender also the last couple of World Cups. It's looking like after that first near perfect run that she put in for us, very fast as well, she's just lost some confidence here. Had a few technical difficulties, and unfortunately she will be going home empty-handed here. We now move on to the male athletes. Aspar J. Lolo, definite contender for not just the top 16, but also a threat to our traditional finalists in the grand and small final. Only just missed out on making it through into the grand final at the last World Cup in Haiyang. Let's see how he gets on here. Aspar J. Lolo, Indonesia here, very, very fast. He's up against Sean McCall, lead and boulder athlete. Here we are, now you can see Aspar coming into his prime. A little bit of a slip there at the last, but that was going to be really, really fast. 8.42, unfortunately with that slip there at the end, that's costing him a really good time there. He's going to have to put a lot of pressure on him for the second climb. I'd hate to see him going out at this early stage here. You can see how fast he was moving. Sean McCall with a time of 9.70. Here you see that slip. Foot just goes on the right on that smaller foothold, and again he loses it there towards the top. Still putting in an 8.42, but in the men's, guys, that's not enough. We're seeing these guys putting in frequently around the 6-second barrier. And the last one, if you weren't in those 6 seconds in Haiyang, you didn't make it through into the top 16. One of the athletes who saw that happen to him, Libor Rosa, here now down on the ground with a 7.05 as his fastest time after a couple of slips and stumbles at Haiyang. Didn't manage to get through into that 6-second barrier, so he's going to be hungry to put in a good time here. Green light goes, Libor fires ahead now. He knows what he needs to get through into this one. He's eager for it. 6.35, there it is. He's put in a good, solid time to start him off here. Anton Polyakov with a time of 7.00. Libor already with a very good time. He now gets a second run in a few moments. He can try and improve on that one. See himself through to the top 16. Watch how he starts to look at his feet in the last section here. Constant attention on that little change over to the right-hand side to where those feet are going. We saw it happen to Aspar J. Lolo. Paying extra attention so as not to slip. We have had the rain in between. We're hoping that's not going to be too much of a problem for the male athletes, that their feet and their shoes aren't wet from moving on the mats here. The mats shouldn't be wet for them, and hopefully the wall, well, the wall definitely shouldn't be wet. We've had it approved. Evgeny Wojciechowski on the left-hand side, Stanislav Kokorin on the right. The world record holder on the left, the world number 1 on the right. World number 1 slipping here. Evgeny 6.63, Stanislav 7.07. Fastest time so far then, resting still with Libor Rosa, 6.35 seconds. That's the one to beat at the moment. Our next pairing getting ready to come out here. You see Stanislav slip. There it is on one of the larger holds here. Here's Adriel on the right-hand side up against Vladimir Zinchenko. Adriel, our only athlete from Singapore. Great to see him here. And here we are, green light. Zinchenko taking a lead. Adriel with a slip there. Vladimir all the way to the top, 7.41. Still not too fast at the moment. 8.73 for Chu Wenkit Adriel from Singapore. Here's Lucas Sverk. He's up against Arseny Shevchenko, our winner of Perm just recently on home turf, took the gold there. Lucas Swerk had a tough time of things of late. A couple of false starts at the start of the season. I've seen him eliminated a little bit too early. Let's hope that he can power into the top 16 here. And it is another false start. We're seeing a running trait here for Lucas. He's got to calm down. So we are both athletes waiting for the green light now. Lucas Swerk a little bit taken out of place here. Not so for Arseny Shevchenko. Powering up. 6.77. Good time for him. 8.93 for Lucas. He's going to be reliant on his second climb. It's looking like he's having a problem here with something. He's having a chat to some people down on the ground. Our next pairing of Vyacheslav Radenchuk and Zhong Linsai, Chichin's brother. Vyacheslav Radenchuk on the left-hand side, we saw at the last World Cup as well. Ended up in 18th place at Mokpo. 19 years old from Yekaterinburg, world ranked 17th, World Cup ranked 20th so far this year. Zhong Linsai putting in some very fast times at the moment. A green light for both of these athletes, and unfortunately Zhong Linsai with a fall here. Vyacheslav Radenchuk with a slip a little bit further up. But there it is, 8.07 seconds for Vyacheslav Radenchuk. Some slow times going on here for the male athletes. A lot of slips as well. Let's hope that it's not just the conditions that's causing that to happen. Here you see Zhong Linsai just coming flying off the wall there. Then a slip a little bit later on for Vyacheslav Radenchuk. We're hoping that that's not the conditions here at the venue. Sergei Sinitsyn on the right-hand side. Hari Fajri, Indonesia on the left. Good clean start from both athletes. Sergei Sinitsyn trying to take the lead, but Hari keeping the pressure on a slip, and a slip from Sergei Sinitsyn as well. Hari manages to carry on, 7.92 seconds. Sergei Sinitsyn with a fall here. There must be something going on with the conditions here at the venue now. Too many slips happening at the moment. Maybe the moisture in the air as it's getting into evening, getting onto the shoes, making everything just a little more moist than they're used to. It's the feet that's giving them away. As we saw Libor Hroza paying that extra attention to his feet as he was powering up towards the top, putting pressure now back on Sergei Sinitsyn, also Zhong Linsai. Yaroslav Gontarek next up, and Zhang Yuhang. Gontarek for the Ukraine. Fantastic results so far on the IFSC. Got to pay attention to his feet here. Hopefully no slips, fingers crossed. Powering into the lead, keeping that lead all the way up, and it's good. 6.57 seconds. 8.75 for Zhang Yuhang, 6.57, very, very good here. Still the fastest time today, Libor Hroza with a 6.35 seconds. Hroza on a comeback mission after failing to make the top 16 in Hayang. Very good time there for Yaroslav Gontarek. Here is Leonardo Gontero, and he will be climbing next to Shinta Ozawa. Results for the women's should be pouring in about now, guys, as well on the IFSC site. Green light. Leonardo Gontero takes an instant lead and holds it. Shinta Ozawa is going to keep going here, but it is all about Gontero at the moment. 6.79, very good time. No slip so far. Ozawa still powering up. Ozawa with a 14.91. Our next pair then, definitely one to watch out for. Danilo Boldyrev right up at the top of the world rankings, and he's going to be up against Reza Alaposhina Zandafar, the gold medalist from our last Speed World Cup from Iran. What I think it could be about this feet situation, you see the red carpet there by the bottom of the wall where the mats are? There is no mat. The green that they're standing on at the moment, the green has been put out to try and stop their feet getting wet because we had the rain earlier on today. But they have to move on to that red carpet near the wall before they start. Now that has been in the rain and could potentially put a little bit of a wet sheen on their climbing shoes right at the very last moment there. They're going to have to be very careful as they step out onto the mats to not put their foot on that red carpet too much. Good start. Here we see Reza Alaposhina coming into his own. Danilo Boldyrev very good here as well though, but misses the button at the last, and 6.48 from Reza Alaposhina Zandafar here, challenging Libor Hroza for the fastest time of the day. Danilo Boldyrev unfortunately with a miss. That's putting some pressure on him. Alexander Shikov, Dmitry Timofeev now. Two Russian athletes paired together here for their first climbs. We get ready to rotate pretty soon. Our athletes will be having their second climb very shortly. Shikov on the left-hand side, very young athlete. Dmitry Timofeev on the right-hand side. Yes, Shikov, only 16 years old. Green light, and here are the Russians doing what they do best. Timofeev firing ahead here. This is great stuff. 6.01. New fastest time for today. 6.45 to Alexander Shikov. Timofeev, if he keeps firing ahead like that and pushing for it, he could potentially be walking away with a new world record here. Non-stop firing his way up this. Shikov not all that far behind him, to be honest, 6.45. But with the new fastest time, Dmitry Timofeev, we move on to our last pairing here. Now then we have Yurzey Komazinski up against Zhong Xixin for China. Big support from the crowd as well here. Previous world record holder, Zhong Xixin, holding that world record for quite some time with the 6.26. All of a sudden, these guys have raised the bar yet again. It now rests with Evgeny Wojciechowski with the 5.88 seconds. It's still with him. No break so far. Zhong Xixin firing up here. Yurzey Komazinski trying to fight it, but no. Zhong to the top, 6.44. Komazinski with a 6.68. Both of those athletes with a fast enough time so far at this stage to see themselves into the top 16. And they've got another climb yet to come where they can really start to put the pressure on of trying to put in an even faster time as we get ready to reverse and start again with our new pairings now. Oh, it's looking like we might have a reclimb actually. That looked like Dzienski. Yes, it is. That's Asparje Lolo and Yurzey Komazinski. Marcin Dzienski. Here, no, we are starting again from the beginning. This is the new pair up. So this is both of their these athletes' second climb. Marcin Dzienski's first climb. Asparje Lolo's second climb. Asparje Lolo with an earlier time of 8.42. He knows he has to be fast. That extra burst of adrenaline here, knowing he has to be fast, has made him have a false start here, a bit of an early start. 8.42 his first climb. This is his second. For Marcin Dziecięcki, this is his first climb. I apologize for that one. Trying to put in his first time. Jelolo knows he needs to be fast here, but now, with that one false start, he can't have another one, otherwise he'll be eliminated, and that'd be a crying shame. This guy has the potential to challenge the best here at the venue. Marcin Dziecięcki, another one that could potentially be going through into the grand final here. Here we are, clean start from both these athletes. Aspar Jelolo really needs a good time here, and at the moment it's all good. 6.65, it should be enough. 6.42 from Marcin Dziecięcki. Dziecięcki with the faster time then. Jelolo with the 6.65, but it should hopefully be enough to see him through into the top 16, where he can start all over again, putting in some faster times. Next pairing then, Sean McCall and Anton Polyakov. False start there. Sean McCall, the one to cause it. We get ready to go again. Clean start this time. Anton Polyakov taking the lead. Sean McCall still fighting for it, but it's Polyakov all the way here. 7.28. Earlier time of 7.00. He's going to be keeping his first time here, trying to get through to the top 16. Sean McCall with a 9.07. Sean getting better and better when it comes to speed climbing, definitely. I can remember when 12 seconds was one of his personal bests, and around 11 for quite a while as well. Definitely improved on that. Sean McCall now with a 9.07. Not a bad time. Not a bad time at all there. Good climb for Sean McCall. So, a clash of the titans here. Libor Hroza, Evgeny Wojciechowski, world record holder, and world ranked number 2, I believe, at the moment, Libor Hroza. Clean start. Hroza is away here. This is going to be a fast time if he doesn't slip. 5.98. That is 0.10 seconds away from breaking the world record. 5.98. It has been a long while since we've seen 5-second bracket being broken. But here it is by Libor Hroza. It looked fast from the off. No false start. He kept looking at the feet at the end, and if anything, if he'd not looked at his feet, he might have got there a little bit faster. But he's playing it safe. I know I'm laughing at that because 5.98 seconds is not playing it safe at all. But he was allowing himself a little bit of extra time to make sure his feet were in the right place, and he's still putting in a 5.98 seconds. Libor Hroza, the Czech Republic, incredible performance there by him, right at the top of the list, breaking the current fastest time. Stanislav Kokorin going for it as well. A good clean start here for him. This is going to be fast as well. Vladimir Zinchenko, another good time. 6.51, 7.08. It's still with Libor, setting the bar high yet again. 5.98. Okay, we are back with Chu, with Adriel, and Lucas Swerk on the right-hand side. Lucas already with one full start. Let's hope that this doesn't happen again to him here. Focused, got to put in a good time as well. His earlier time after that full start. Lucas Swerk, 8.93. We are away, green light for both these athletes. A good start then here. Adriel needs a good time as well. Both of them pushing for it. Adriel 6.53, 6.79 for Lucas. Very good here. Adriel's earlier time was 8.73, so this is putting him into the top 16 by the look of things with a 6.53. Looking at Lucas now, 6.79 compared to his earlier time of 8.93. Both these athletes putting the pressure on the other athletes still to climb. Arseny Shevchenko then on the left-hand side here up against Vyacheslav Vodenchuk. Shevchenko, winner of Perm this year. False start here from Vyacheslav Vodenchuk. Good start here. Arseny Shevchenko taking the lead as well. Vyacheslav Vodenchuk with not a second false start. 6.63 seconds for Arseny Shevchenko. 7.60 for Vyacheslav Vodenchuk. Shevchenko with an earlier time of 6.77. This is a faster time for him then. 6.63. And now it's starting to become about that 6-second barrier. No danger for Libor Hroza at all. It is 5.98. Zhong Lin-Tsai earlier with a fall. This is very important for him. Ashari Fajri. 7.92 earlier today. That was after the slip, remember. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Green light, good start for both athletes. Still neck and neck at the moment. Lin-Tsai a little bit ahead. Lin-Tsai holding it as well. 6.99. 7.23 for Ashari. 7.23 compared to his earlier 7.92 is better, but will it be enough to see him through? 25 male athletes. We're only taking the top 16 through. That might be a bit of a problem for him here now. Lin-Tsai 6.99 within that 6-second barrier. It's a little bit better for him at the moment as we move on to Sergei Sinitsyn and Yaroslav Gontarik's second climb. Gontarik earlier on then with a time of 6.57 seconds, already putting in a good time. A fall for Sergei Sinitsyn, so this is very important for him. And here we go, the athletes take their starting positions. You see there Yaroslav being careful where he's putting his feet, doesn't want to touch that red mat at all. Green light for both athletes putting in a good fight here, neck and neck all the way up. Bit of a stall towards the last there, 7.05 for Yaroslav, so slower this time. 6.85 for Sergei Sinitsyn, which puts him into contention. Leonardo Gontero on the right-hand side here. He's up against Zhang Yuhang. And here we go. Gontero trying to power ahead here, an earlier time of 6.79 seconds. He wants to get faster than that again, 6.64, and he has done it. Zhang Yuhang with a 7.50 compared to his earlier time of 8.75. Again, a better time, but possibly not enough to see him through to the 16. Danilo Boldarev on the right-hand side, an earlier time with a miss, unfortunately. Not a fall, just missed the buzzer at the very top. He's climbing next to Shinto Ozawa of Japan. with a big smile on his face, clearly a little bit more relaxed than some of the other athletes here. And here we go, Bordelev. Needs to put in a good time here, a little bit of a stall. He's got to make up for missed seconds now. 7.26. It might not be enough for Danilo. 13.57 for Shinta, which is better than his earlier time of 14.91, but still quite far out of the top 16 at the moment. Still got Zhong Shixin still yet to come. I can see him in isolation at the moment, getting ready to go. Also, Jerzy Komazinski, and Marcin Dziecięcki as well. I believe Komazinski should be next out. Oh no, it's Reza Alaposhina. Reza's second climb today. Alaposhina Zandafar. Alexander Shikov, the 16-year-old athlete from Russia, on the right-hand side. Alaposhina Zandafar already with a 6.48 seconds. Definitely in contention for the top 16. Can he improve on it here? Show us just why he won that gold medal just recently. Here we go, green light. Reza flying for it. Shikov, unfortunately, with a fall here. 6.29, Reza Alaposhina Zandafar. Keeping the pressure on some of our other athletes here. Fantastic time there for him. Dmitry Timofeev on the left-hand side, Jerzy Komazinski on the right. Timofeev already with a 6.01. Can he improve on that? A slip there, and a slip from Komazinski as well. 7.72, but it's unfortunate for him. Komazinski with a 6.68 already. A 12.31 for Timofeev, meaning he's reliant on his first time. To be honest, he's already in there with a 6.01. Komazinski didn't necessarily have to do too much either with a 6.68. Looking like it should be enough at the moment. Our next pair in then. Shixin with an earlier score of 6.44 seconds. And here is Marcin Dziecięcki, our last pair here. Dziecięcki with a 6.42. Very close on both of these athletes' earlier times, and that just goes to show how much Marcin Dziecięcki has improved recently, climbing about as fast as Zhong Shixin, previous world record holder. Green light, neck and neck. Still neck and neck all the way. Dziecięcki's starting to fall a little bit behind. 6.04 from Shixin, 6.20 from Dziecięcki. But both of these athletes could be going all the way through to the grand final. Fantastic performance from both of those. So there we are. Those are our athletes. We will now start putting together our top 16 of those. You can see just at the last moment there, Dziecięcki's starting to fall a little bit further behind, but it's still a pretty good time there from both of those athletes. Now we should have our female top 16 now, just waiting for those to be confirmed, and we'll go straight on to our women's finals. So we are currently at 10 minutes to 7 o'clock on the evening here, and we are due to start our finals at 7 o'clock. Now Vincent, our IFSC technical delegate, has just come across and said there will be perhaps a 5 minutes delay, meaning that we have about 15 minutes now to wait before we do get on with our finals. So it's going to be a little bit of a wait now, guys. Get yourself a coffee, whatever you need, maybe some food. I know over in England it's approaching midday there now, so you're probably just about ready for lunch. About 15 minutes here and we'll have things underway around about 5 minutes past 7. We are about to go in a few moments' time then, guys. We just have roughly 1 minute left to wait, and then we'll welcome our first athletes. This is for the men's then, 16 that we're looking at the moment, here on your screens at the moment. But we will be starting with the women's here, as usual. But there you can see the 16 athletes making it through into their pairings, where it now becomes a knockout round. 2 athletes set against each other. The winner of that race goes through into the next stage of the finals. Those quarter-final lists you can see there, then into the semi-final, then the grand, and of course the small final for the bronze medal. Getting ready very shortly for the female athletes to come out. Our final 16 are calculated, and here they are, Yulia Kaplina and Pan Zuha starting us off in their pairs, and then moving down to Savisko and Jolbert, Rudzinska and Mariench, Gedemakina and Ropek, Krasavina and Wang Mu, Buksek and Prokopiuk, Levochkina and He, Tita and Heitz. Those are your 16 female athletes making it through into the finals here. We get ready at the bottom of the wall now to bring out our first pairing.
首先要恭喜进入到前16的速度型的选手们。那接下来比赛没有2次机会，只有1次机会，1次机会不能有失误。谁第一时间到达顶端，谁就是我们进入到前8的运动员。那接下来第一组，各位是否记得在预赛排名第1和第16的2位？这2位在预赛的成绩，差距是最大的。我们要欢迎 A 道065号来自于俄罗斯的 Yulia from Russia.
Our first pairing out here now then, Yulia Kaplina and Pan Zuha for China. Neck and neck race. The winner of this will go through into the next stage. 16 athletes, time to break them down to 8. Yulia Kaplina needs to keep focused here. So we have had quite a few slips. Pan Zuha can take advantage of that if Yulia does make a slip. You can see she is keeping it relatively slow here. She knows she doesn't have to power ahead too fast. Still 8.76 from Yulia. And that sees Yulia Kaplina moving forward into the next round. And 11.76 from Pan Zuha. Our next pair will be Anastasia Savisko and Anouk Jalbert.
PK 是很残酷的。接下来这一组的他们的预赛排名是很靠近，左边是预赛排名第8的，来自于乌克兰的 Anastasia。右边是预赛排名第9位的，来自于法国的 Anouk。from France。
Anastasia Savisko on the left-hand side, Jalbert on the right. This could be close now between these two athletes. Relatively level pairing here, and at the moment it's pretty close. Jalbert taking the lead, Savisko falling behind. It is Jalbert, 9.34 for Jalbert against a 10.28 for Anastasia Savisko. Anouk Jalbert goes forward into the next round, the final 8 here. The next pairing about to come out will be Alexander Rudzinska up against Alan Mariench. We now know that Anouk Jalbert goes forward to face Yulia Kaplina in the next stage, the quarterfinals.
波兰的亚历山德拉。Route A, Radziska Alexandra from Poland. B 道是预赛排名第13位的。
Alexandra Rodzinska on the left-hand side, Alan Marienc on the right for the Ukraine. This could be another close call, but Rodzinska is the one tipped to move forward based on previous performances. Here we are, straight away Rodzinska takes the lead there. A little bit of a slip from Alan Marienc. She's starting to try and fight it back, but Rodzinska's holding on to it at the moment. It is Rodzinska, 8.85 seconds. 11.24 for Alan Marienc. Rodzinska going through. Alina Gaidamakina on the left-hand side here. Frequent winner, tipped to take another gold here if she can keep her cool, not slip. And she is facing Edita Ropek. A lot of pressure on Ropek here to try and perform. Also on Gaidamakina, I was saying in an interview just recently with her how much pressure is on her to consistently perform at the high level. Gaidamakina playing it relatively safe at the moment. Trying to make sure that she doesn't slip here, but taking a lead anyway. Gaidamakina with a 9.07 against the 9.92 from Ropek sees Gaidamakina going forward into the next round. Our next pair will be Maria Krasavina. She is up against Renzeng Wangmu of China.
Alina 这个状态是很稳定的，哎，是的，也是刚结束海洋的比赛的冠军。好，继续欢迎下一组，这一组在预赛的排名也差距也比较大。A 道是预赛排名第2位，来自俄罗斯的 Maria。from Russia。B 道是预赛排名第15的中国队的任正旺姆。Route B， 任正旺姆 from China。
Maria, left-hand side. Renzeng Wangmu. It is Maria all the way with a 9.03 here. So far, the fastest time that we have seen at this level, an 8.76 from Yulia Kaplina, current world record holder at the very start. So Alexandra Rodzinska will face Alina Gaidamakina at the next level. Yulia Kaplina will face Anuk Jalbert. And Maria Krasavina will face the winner of this next match between Klaudia Buksek and Monika Prokopiuk. This could be close. Both athletes from Poland, both athletes training together. Klaudia Buksek starting to take a bit of a lead here. Prokopiuk starting to fall behind. It is Buksek all the way up there, 9.39 against the 9.95 from Monika Prokopiuk. Which sees Klaudia Buksek up against Maria Krasavina on the next stage now. And we move on to our penultimate pairing. It is Yulia Levochkina against He Hulian of China. Following that, we will have Supita Tita up against Margot Heitz of France. This for the first of the final pair. Can already see the male athletes lining up, getting ready to go. We'll be moving straight on to the male final 16 after we finish here. Yulia Levachkina moving with some speed here. Paying a lot of attention to her feet though, as you can see. 8.93. And a miss, unfortunately, for He Hulian. Supita Tita from Indonesia now up against Margot Heitz of France to see who will face Yulia Levachkina in the next stage. Supita Tita taking a lead here. This is going to be Tita all the way. Heitz with a couple of stumbles. 9.04, it is Supita Tita that moves forward. Margot Heitz with an 11.63. An unfortunate end to a tournament there for her. Supita Tita for Indonesia moves forward into the final 8 to face Yulia Levachkina, and that is a really tough draw for her as well. We now move over onto the male athletes for our first stage of their final. And here we are, the first pairing in our male athletes listing. Libor Hrozer on the left-hand side, Sergei Sinitsyn on the right. Hrozer with an earlier time of 5.98 seconds, but Sergei Sinitsyn is not an opponent to be laughed at here. The slightest of slips could cost Libor everything. He needs to remain focused here, and you can see he's trying to calm himself down. Sergei Sinitsyn trying to do the same thing, preparing themselves for this race to the top. Here we go, this is going to be tight. Hey, Sergei Sinitsyn starting to take a lead here. Libor Hrozer needs to pull it back. It is Hrozer right at the very last, 6.22 seconds, up against a 6.32 here. Libor Hrozer goes forward, just to cover for the fact that I went momentarily quiet there for a second. We're sitting right behind the wall here, basically where you can see our next athlete, Adriel, just checking the holds there. We're right behind that, and as Libor reached up and whacked the final hold there, a bolt fell down and narrowly missed our heads. So we're trying to find something to make sure that we're a little bit safer behind here. A lot of testosterone going around out the front, a lot of nervous energy, and that was a close one as well. As excited as I am about the lead finals, I'm kind of attached to my head. So we're looking at finding something to save that at the moment as we get ready to welcome Adriel for his climb now. He will be against Yaroslav Gontarek. This should be close as well. We are away. Gontarek taking an instant lead. Adriel trying to fight for it again, but Gontarek all the way here. 6.49 seconds sees Yaroslav Gontarek through to the next stage. Our next pairing will be Marcin Dziecięcki and Aspar J. Lolo. Another one that could be very, very close. All of these athletes with the potential to go forward into the next stage. Dziecięcki on the left, Aspar Jailolo on the right.
Ready?
False start here from Aspar Jailolo.
Okay.
False start here from Jailolo, holding things up a little bit. We're going to get ready to go. Oh, it's looking like that is actually a second false start for Aspar. And unfortunately, we will be losing him at this stage of the competition. He did have an earlier false start as well. The second one causes him to be eliminated at this stage, and Marcin Dziecięcki is being asked whether he wants to climb or not. He said for a moment then that he did. Now he's walked away from the wall a bit here. Not sure what's happening at the moment.
Ready?
See, every run at this wall helps to familiarise themselves a little bit more with the conditions on the wall, so Marcin taking advantage of that. And with an 8.51, he goes through as Aspar Jailolo has been eliminated. And next pair, Reza Alaposhina Zandafar against Leonardo Gontero. Again, this is another close one. You're seeing some really, really top level speed athletes here now. These are the guys that are frequently in the finals, and new emerging stars as well, such as Reza Alaposhina Zandafar. Leonardo Gontero frequently in the finals. We still have Xixin Zong yet to come. We've had Rosa already. We've got Dziecięcki through. Yaroslav Gontarek as well.
Ready?
Looks like a false start here from Leonardo Gontero. The yellow card for him then. Reza putting in a good time here. This is neck and neck all the way. But it is Reza at the last that knocks Leonardo Gontero out of this competition. At this stage, that was very, very close all the way up there, neck and neck. But Reza Alaposhina Zandafar, 6.30, doing exactly what he did at the last World Cup, slowly taking out the competition. A shame there for Leonardo Gontero. But Reza moves on. And next pairing, Dmitry Timofeev up against Lucas Swerk. Just to make you aware, Lucas Swerk has already had a false start One more false start from him will cause him to be eliminated from the competition. A lot of pressure on him now. Dmitry Timofeyev with a fantastic earlier time, 6.01. Let's see how these two athletes get on here. Timofeyev taking an early lead here. Lucas Swerk fine with the false starts, but he's falling behind here. It's going to be Timofeyev all the way, 6.39 to a 6.70. It is Timofeyev who goes forward. Lucas Swerk, unfortunately, goes home here now empty-handed. We move on to our next pair, Stanislav Kokorin against Arseny Shevchenko, world rank #1, winner of the overall World Cup rankings last year, and he's up against winner of Perm this year, the gold medalist, Arseny Shevchenko.
继续欢迎下一组。或许你的世界排名，或许你的以前的成绩都不重要，更重要的是此刻你能够把握住吗？我们欢迎 A 道是预赛排名第7位的来自俄罗斯的名将 Kokorin Star from Russia。B 道是他的队友，预赛排名第10位的俄罗斯的队员 Arseny from Russia。
False start from Arseny Shevchenko here. Back down onto the ground. That is one strike for him, a yellow card.
那我据我们很多优秀的教练员说，有的时候抢跑，因为有一次机会嘛，比到最后的时候，那是一种战术。
Good start here from both of them, but it's Kokorin who takes a lead. Shevchenko starting to fall behind. It is Kokorin, 6.32 against 6.61. Stanislav Kokorin moves forward into the next round. Our next pair, Zhong Xixin up against Yerzhey Komazinski. China against Poland. We now know that Kokorin will move forward to face Dmitry Timofeyev, his teammate, in the next stage.
接下来16进8，我们要欢迎 A 道是预赛排名排在第3位的中国队钟启新，入队钟启新 from China。谢谢各位，我们的掌声要送给每一位队员，他们都是最棒的。B 道与他 PK 的是预赛排名排在第14位的来自波兰的哲基。Route B, Komsinski Jerry from Poland.
False start here, Yerzhey Komazinski. Komazinski taking a lead against Zhong here. Zhong with another stumble. It's Komazinski all the way. Unbelievable switch there. 6.97 seconds. And we see Zhong Xixin out at this stage of the competition, unfortunately, after a couple of slips there. What a turnaround. Komazinski through to the next stage. Disappointment for China here. Our final pair, Alexander Shikov, Evgeny Wojciechowski, the young 16-year-old against our current world record holder here in Wujiang in the final stage of the Speed World Cup 2013. Which of these athletes will go forward to face Jerzy Komarzyński now after that shock slip from Zhong Shixin a few moments ago?
Ready?
Here we are. Shikov wants this, and Wojciechowski stumbling there. Is he going to be able to make it back? Shikov with quite the lead. It is Shikov, 6.46. Our world record holder, Evgeny Wojciechowski, is out with a 7.39 here after an early slip. So a couple of shocks. As per the usual here, it is Shikov that moves forward. We always have a bit of an interesting turnaround in the speed. We get ready to go back over onto the women now. Our first pairing will be between Julia Kaplina and Anok Gelbert. Earlier time of 8.76 for Julia Kaplina. Earlier time of 9.34 for Anok Gelbert. So it is Kaplina with the faster time so far. Athletes take their positions. Pressure on Julia Kaplina to perform as the one pipped to win this knockout stage. Anok Gelbert taking a lead here. Julia Kaplina has to do some fighting, and there it is. A stall from Gelbert, unfortunately. 8.63 sees Julia Kaplina through to the next stage. Gelbert with the 10.75 is out. It is Kaplina that goes forward. 8.63. Our next pairing will be Alexandra Rudzinska up against Alina Gaidamakina.
Alexandra from Poland. 第一道是目前世界排名第1位的，来自俄罗斯的 Alina Gaidamakina Alina from Russia.
Pressure on both these athletes to start here. Both of them waited for the green there. Didn't want a false start. It is Rudzinska on the left, Gaidamakina on the right. Still pretty close at this stage. Gaidamakina taking a bit of a lead, and there it is, 8.47. Sees Gaidamakina through to the next stage. 8.79 for Alexandra Rudzinska. Unfortunately, just 0.35 away here. Sorry, 2.8. That maths is terrible. Maria Krasavina and Claudia Buksek next up then. Krasavina on the left-hand side, Buksek on the right. This, again, could be a very close fight. Their earlier times, Maria Krasavina with a 9.03, Claudia Buksek with a 9.39, so 0.36 of a difference between the two of them in their earlier performance. Good clean start. Maria Krasavina starting to take a bit of a lead here. A bit of a stall, and Claudia Buksek takes it back. Maria Krasavina fighting for it now. Who's it going to be? 9.07 against 9.12 sees Maria Krasavina through to the next stage. Unfortunately, Claudia Buksek is out at this stage, but pretty close between those two athletes there. Next up, Yulia Levochkina against Supita Tita. Scary situation for Supita to be in here against Yulia Levochkina, but again, the pressure on Yulia to perform to her usual standard. And here we are, green light from both. Yulia Levochkina starting to take a bit of a lead, but Supita Tita fighting for it. They're still neck and neck. This is going to be close. Yulia slowing down a bit here. 8.89, just Yulia Levochkina just taking it there against Supita Tita. It is Yulia who goes through to the next round, but that was close right to the very end. We now jump back over to the male athletes. We have our 4 female athletes for the next stage. It is over to the men now. Our first pairing in the men's will be Libor Hroza up against Yaroslav Gontarek. And this is going to be a good fight. Libor Hroza, Yaroslav Gontarek, the Czech Republic against the Ukraine here. False start, Yaroslav Gontarek.
好，各位稍等一下，等到我们国际裁判的对刚才的这个情况出现的判断情况，所以不要着急。 好的，比赛继续，任何情况一定不会有任何影响，继续保持。
Action Max. Ready?
Both athletes waiting there to make sure they got a good start. Kroza with a stall, and it is Gontarek all the way here. Kroza starting to pull it back, but no, 6.48 seconds and a scream from Gontarek at the top. Kroza, after a 5.98 second in the last stage, slipping there, and massive disappointment here from the athlete from the Czech Republic. It's turning into one of those crazy finals again. Not even sure what happened there with him. Libor just completely losing his rhythm. You saw how he tried to take it back and nearly succeeded there as well, but a big disappointment there for the athlete from the Czech Republic. Our next pairing, another very close battle here between Marcin Dziecięcki and Reza Alaposhina Zandafar. Poland against Iran.
Action Max. Ready?
False start, Marcin Dziecięcki here. Pressure on him now to perform here at this next stage. Clearly feeling the pressure facing Reza Alaposhina Zandafar as well.
Action Max. Ready?
Good start from both of these athletes. Reza Alaposhina Zandafar starting to take a bit of a lead here. Neck and neck still though. 0.01 of a difference here. 6.19 against 6.20, but it is Reza who manages to move forward into the next stage. It doesn't get closer than that. 6.19 against 6.20, and you see, can't quite see it as much on this angle, but it looked like Reza was starting to take a bit of a lead earlier on. Marcin all of a sudden leveled off completely right to the very last. Hardly anything in it. Disappointment for Marcin Dziecięcki here. Crazy finals already. It is now Dmitry Timofeev, and he faces Stanislav Kokorin in this stage. Timofeev on the left, Kokorin on the right.
Action Max. Ready?
False start, Stanislav Kokorin.
Action Max.
Here we go again.
Ready?
Both athletes delaying there for a moment. Timofeev with a stumble there earlier on. It's Kokorin all the way here in the clear completely, and it is him, 6.61. Timofeev finishing with a 10.55, but an early stall for Timofeev lost him that one. Stanislav Kokorin moves forward into the next round, and he will be facing the winner of this next match between Jerzy Komarzyński and Alexander Shikov.
道是来自波兰的泽德泽基。from Poland。B 道是来自俄罗斯队的亚历山大 Route B Shikov Alexandra from Russia。
Here they are, Jerzy Komarzyński on the left-hand side, Alexander Shikov on the right, and the men's quarter-final. This to go forward into the final four and a chance at the medals. Early start there from Alexander Shikov. Which is good, because if it had been Komarzyński, he'd have been eliminated at this stage already with one early start. Pressure on both of these athletes now to delay their starts so as not to be eliminated. Good start from both athletes here. Now neck and neck still at this stage. Komarzyński starting to take a lead. Shikov trying to pull it back, but it is Komarzyński all the way to the top. 6.64 seconds against 6.98 sees Komarzyński through to the final four. Back over we go now to the female athletes for their next stage. The semi-final stage now to earn their place in the grand or small final. It is Julia Kaplina up against Alina Gaidamakina, world record holder, against world rank number 1 and World Cup rank number 1 and the winner of the last World Cup. Gaidamakina is on perfect form at the moment. Julia Kaplina setting the world record and winner of Baku in Azerbaijan earlier this year. World record for the women's now resting at 8.05 seconds. Which of these athletes gets a shot at the gold and silver, and which of them has to be in the small final with a chance for the bronze? The winner of this secures themselves a definite medal.
From Russia, Route B, Gaidamakina Alina from Russia.
Clean start from both athletes and still neck and neck at this stage now. Gaidamakina needs to start moving here if she wants to make it through. It is Kaplina at this point. It's Kaplina all the way. Unbelievable, but Alina Gaidamakina is out. She is applauding Julia Kaplina on the way down. That is a perfect sportswoman right there. Alina Gaidamakina getting knocked out here, but applauding on the way down as Julia Kaplina goes forward to the next stage. 7.99 and a new world record by the look of things at this stage. Give me 1 second to get that confirmed. Let me make sure that this is a new world record here, but this is potentially what that is. Julia Kaplina, and it took me that long to notice, 7.99 seconds. Firing into the lead. She might have just bested her own record here. 7.99, Alina Gaidamakina applauding. We are now with our next pairing, Maria Krasavina up against Yulia Levochkina. Give me a second to see whether that is a new world record. Neck and neck at this stage. Yulia Levochkina starting to take a little bit of a lead. Krasavina fighting for it still, though it's still close. By 0.01 of a second, Maria Krasavina goes forward to fight against Julia Kaplina in the grand final. Yulia Levochkina is up against Alina Gaidamakina in the small final.
Congratulations.继续是否来看看能否见到更快的男子速度？男子4位的竞争还是很激烈的。
7.99 seconds. Another incredible performance from Julia Kaplina. Here we see Maria Krasavina winning that last bout and confirming a medal for her. Over to the men's again now. Here we have Yaroslav Gontarek against Reza Aliposhina Zandafar. Again, same situation here. The winner of this goes forward and secures himself at least a medal. They will get to compete in the grand final for the gold. The loser of this goes into the small final and a chance to try and take the bronze medal. Yaroslav Gontarek on the left-hand side, Reza Aliposhina Zandafar on the right.
Ready?
Yaroslav Gontarek with an early start and a fall here at this stage. Unbelievable after a really quick start. No false start called by the look of things. Reza Aliposhina Zandafar keeping it slow towards the last. 9.98 is enough to see him through. What a disappointment for Yaroslav Gontarek at this stage. Reza Aliposhina Zandafar does it again, sees himself through into the grand final and secures a medal here. Disappointment for Gontarek. We get ready for our next pairing. I have it confirmed as well, chaps. Official wall, official new world record in speed. Yulia Kaplina beating her own world record of 8.05, now with a new world record, 7.99 seconds. A new female world record here in speed climbing. Yulia Kaplina already a winner here today. Can she secure the gold as well? We wait to find out in a few moments. Stanislav Kokorin now against Jerzy Komarzyński for that position of fighting Reza Aliposhina for the gold. Here we are, both athletes neck and neck. Starting to see Kokorin pull ahead here. Komarzyński trying to pull it back, but it's Kokorin all the way. 6.35 seconds against 8.22. Komarzyński into the small final. Kokorin will face Reza Aliposhina Zandafar in the grand final. So Komarzyński against Yaroslav Gontarek in the small final then. Komarzyński putting in a time here of 8.22. A little bit of a slip towards the last there you see it, but Kokorin had already started to take the lead there as well. We now go back over to the women's. We welcome our small finalists back out onto the field. Our small finalists in the women are Alina Gaidamakina and Ina. That's twice this year Yulia Kaplina has set a world record in the women's speed. 8.05 and now a 7.99. Alina Gaidamakina, Yuri Levachkina. This for the bronze medal here. Wujiang 2013 Speed World Cup. Both athletes looking like they're a bit surprised there by the green light, but it's Levachkina that's taking the lead. Gaidamakina falling behind. It's Levachkina all the way. A slip at the last moment. Can she pull it back? That suddenly became very, very close there. Yulia Levachkina 10.54. Alina Gaidamakina 11.02. There was a moment there right at the very last. Levachkina with that slip. Gaidamakina tried to take advantage of it, but unfortunately Gaidamakina missing out on the bronze medal. It is Levachkina that secures the third place position. Both athletes smiling. An interesting final there for them. Right at the very last. Look at the lead here from Levachkina, and then all of a sudden, what's happening here? Gaidamakina coming back, and then all of a sudden Levachkina just managing to get her foot on the wall in time there to push up. And now we move over onto our grand final. This for the gold medal. The loser takes the silver. Yulia Kaplina against Maria Krasavina. Yulia so calm, so focused. After breaking her own world record, still gunning for the gold medal. We are away. Krasavina on the right-hand side. Kaplina starting to try and fight back here. They're still neck and neck. Kaplina pushes it 7.85 seconds. She's done it again. And a 7.97 from Maria Krasavina would have broken the previous world record as well. So in fact, both of these athletes breaking records left, right and centre. It's got to be a personal best for Maria Krasavina. Incredibly fast grand final here. Both athletes fighting all the way through. Another world record broken, but in fact by both athletes here, they are both breaking the previous world record. 7.97 for Maria Krasavina, a 7.85 for Yulia Kaplina, 7.85 seconds. A new women's world record in speed climbing, 7.85 seconds. Yulia Kaplina, gold medalist. New world record, twice breaking it this World Cup alone. Unbelievable speed climbing here from Yulia Kaplina of Russia. So, guys, over onto the small final then. Yaroslav Gontarek up against Jerzy Komarzyński. Gontarek on the left-hand side, Komarzyński on the right. This for the bronze medal. Okay, so for the bronze medal then, Yaroslav Gontarek on the left-hand side. Gontarek with a fall in the last stage, but an earlier time of 6.48. Has been consistently faster than Jerzy Komarzyński throughout this Speed World Cup. If he doesn't fall here, he should be on to take this bronze, but Komarzyński's going to want to fight for it. Here we are, a green light, and Gontarek starting to take the lead already. It's still pretty close. Komarzyński just comes off the wall there, and with a 6.55 seconds, it is Yaroslav Gontarek securing himself a bronze medal. Komarzyński just looked like at that point he pushed away from the wall. It didn't look necessarily like a fall. Here it is in replay. He just jumps away from the wall there. It doesn't look like he's got too much of a problem. Maybe he knew that he was going to lose out at that last stage. Not entirely sure. But a fall then for Komarzyński takes the 4th place position, and Gontarek secures the bronze medal. Fantastic news for him. This is what it's all about though, guys. Our world rank #1, Stanislav Kokorin for Russia on the right-hand side against the winner of our last bout in the Speed World Cup, Reza Alaposhina Zandafar, consistently fighting to get himself into the grand final here. Can he do it again? Can he take a second gold medal? He's financed himself to get here from Iran. Wants to be in the World Cups. Completely deserving of being here as far as both myself and everybody else at this venue is concerned. Reza Alaposhina Zandafar, gold medal from the last World Cup. Can he do it again? Green light. Zandafar trying to take it on. A slip. Kokorin, it is the pressure at that stage. Kokorin all the way to the top. Gold medal here. Disappointment for Reza Alaposhina Zandafar. Stanislav Kokorin keeping his cool all the way to the top. It is Russia taking the gold medal here. Stanislav Kokorin, 6.81 seconds. A fall from Reza Alaposhina Zandafar. Let's see if we can have another little look at that slip. Disappointment for Reza there. You can see the frustration. Here it is. Left leg just gives out on him there as he puts his foot up onto the handhold to push up ahead. Kokorin keeps his cool throughout, apart from this point, with a bit of aerial acrobatic display at the end, but then turns around and registers the win. 6.81 seconds. And the Russians are having quite a good time here at Wujiang. That is it, guys. Reza Alaposhina Zandafar, no shame whatsoever in a silver medal here. And the bronze going to Yaroslav Gontarek. incredible performances all the way around here. New world records being set in the women's. 6.81 seconds in the grand final sees the gold medal going to Stanislav Kokore, now world ranked number 1. Fantastic performances all round. Well guys, the awarding ceremony is actually tomorrow, so tonight we have completed our coverage for you. Here, that little gap that's missing there at the last stage is a Yulia Kaplina that moves forward into the gold medal position. And here you can see how it played out on the graphics from the last 16 all the way through into the small and grand final. Yulia Kaplina, there she is, in the gold medal spot. Maria Krasavina also breaking a world record here, but Kaplina breaking it again. So the world record is at 7.85 seconds at the moment. Maria Krasavina with a 7.97 in the grand final takes the silver medal. Yulia Levachkina taking the bronze. Alina Gaida-Makina with that slip taking the 4th place position here in the women's. Let's have a look at the men's. The award ceremony is tomorrow for you. We of course have so much more still to come. The lead semi-finals tomorrow morning for you and the finals tomorrow night. Here's the men's results for the speed. Stanislav Kokorin taking the gold medal up against Reza Alaposhina Zandafar taking the silver. It is then in 3rd place Yaroslav Gontarek who takes the bronze here. Ukraine, Iran and Russia on the podium. Nice to see a good mix of nationalities through into the finals of the World Cup. Wujiang, China 2013. Those are your winners for the speed. Tomorrow morning then we will be back with you at 10 o'clock local time to us, 10 a.m. local time to us here in China. Thank you for being with us all the way through today. We will see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Good night for now.